Hi guys, this is a video to help you do your homework on section 5.1 for congruence. So if you get into your class here, I have lots of classes, you can see. We are going to do, I already started it up, it looks like. Oh, you have to watch this video? That's not what we wanted to do. Where do I need to go? Mrs. Bruno, Mrs. Bruno. I click next activity. Click on the subject. We're going to go here too. We're looking for up, congruence. You see where congruence is? And we're going to go to assignment. They're going to talk to us. Okay, remember what we said, that all this is like a code. Everything's going to match up here. So the statement is here. HJ is first and second. It's going to match with AB. So what is AB? That's going to be the same as HJ. So we just need to figure out what the length of AB is, and they tell us right above. AB is 3.5. So what does HJ have to be? 3.5. Boom. It's a happy sound. I go to the next question. Use the interactive tool to determine whether or not the triangles are congruent. Okay, so we could use the ruler and the protractor if we want, but let's see if we're gonna need it all the way here, okay? So let's measure with the boxes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So those do look equal. So far, so good. Now let's do that little trick where you can go over and across to see if they're the same. So here I'm going from here to here. I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1, 2, 3. So how about here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, these two match as well. And then for these guys, what I got? Down 1, 2, 3, 4, over 1, 2, 3, 4. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, over 1, 2, 3, 4. They are congruent. Now, I could match up and measure all the protractors, but I'm going to tell you don't need to. If all the sides match up, you do not need to. It's a little life hack. And we got to figure out what the statement is. So they named the first one ABC. So what does A match up with? Well, A is between the 2 and the 3. Which one is between the 2 and the 3 here? That's going to go with E. So it's the one that has E first, and then we don't even need to check the rest because we got 1. That's all you're going to need. So it's the one that has E first. Try identifying corresponding sides of the triangles. Okay, if these are congruent, what does AB match with? Well, AB looks like it's going to match with DE. What will EF match with? That's the short side. It matches with BC. And CA, be careful, down to the up matches with F to the D. Identify the corresponding angles in the figure. Okay, so what does P match with? Well, P looks like it has the box, which will match with angle S. C has the 41, matches with Z with the 41. And K has the 49, which will match with F with the 49. Read Amy's and Eric's positions and determine who was correct. Okay. Amy argued that the two triangles shown are congruent because they look just to be the same. Eric says that just because they appear to be the same does not mean they were congruent. Who's right? Well, we really need to have numbers here. Remember, we need to number and measure and stuff. So I think Eric is right because the two triangles they don't give us any measures. They look the same, yes, but they don't give us any measurements. Based on the figures, which statements are correct? They have everything matched up and drawn for us, so we just need to see the markings. UT has 2 markings. What does XV have? Oh, it has 2. That'll be it. S has 2. Does V have 2? No, V has 1, so that can't be right. ST, that has 3. Does WV have 3? Sure does. Okay, V has 1. Does T have 1? Sure does. And US has 1. XV has 2. So that's not it either. Use the congruency statement to identify which statements are true. Look how small the little triangle is. That's funny. Okay, so let's see what one works out here. If DKL goes with PVX, that means D matches with P, K with V, and L matches with X. So now they're going to try to mix up the numbers and see if we can figure it out. Well, if L is first, then what needs to be first on the last one? X. So that's so far so good. If K was first, K needs to match with the V. That's okay. And if D would go with P. So that's another way you could write it. That does work out. How about V? V is second, needs to match with K. That's okay. P is first, needs to match with D. Looking good. X and L are last. You could write it that way also. But you can't mix it around. I'm not even going to check the next one because we already know that VPX has to match to this way. Does D match with P? D is first, P is first. And DL is first and last. PV is first and second. So that can't be it. Which of the congruency statements must be correct? All right, let's see if we can do the matching here. Y, Z, X. Well, does Y match with B? Y matches with C. So we need to find one that has Y matching with C. So let's see what we can do here. Y match with D? No. Y match with B? No. Oh, here it is. Look, Y and C. Oh, Mrs. Bruno, you're so stupid. There's other ones that it could have been too. We got to be careful. I think it's this, but let's double check. Y, C, that matches. X has 36. Does D have 36? No, Mrs. Bruno, sadness. So what did she do wrong? Y, I said has to match with C. Y could have matched with B. So maybe it is this one. We'll pretend Mrs. Bruno wasn't stupid. Y, Z, X. Does Z match with D? Not here. Y can match with B, we said. Y has to match with B or C. This isn't it. Let's see if this one is it. Z has 108. D has 108. That looks good. X is 36. C is 36. Y is 36. B is 36. It has to be that third one. I really messed that one up. You're probably a little confused, so I'm sorry. Use the graph to determine which congruency statement is true. Okay. Well, we see the right angles. So Q and Y have to match. So Q and Y, Q and Y, Q and Z, no. Q and X, no. So it's one of the first two. So now we need to see, can you figure out which one is the short side? Do you see how RQ is the shortest? RQ is going to have to match with, R is away from the right angle, so Z is away from the right angle, Z to Y. RQ has to match with Z to Y, and that's going to be the matching angles. Describe in your own words how to tell if two figures are congruent. What are the rules? It has to be the same size and same shape. Or you could say the corresponding parts are congruent. The matching sides have to be equal. Did we say that the congruent shapes have the same size and shape? Yes. They said corresponding sides have to be equal and angles. We just put them together and we said parts. So good job. And that's your homework for congruence.